Good morning again. Jesus mercy. Okay. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at, right? Okay, this is going to be really difficult for me to assemble. I was told to add something else with this video on medicine and sorcery versus things done by the hand of God. Holy or unholy, how do we differentiate the two? There is no differentiating them and separating them. They are forever mixed together. They will be forever one until they are unone. Until the divine rolls the heavens up like a scroll and re-separates everything, and everything is destroyed to be remade again. This will always be the context. The Father brought me Enoch. Dang, 111. I see numbers just everywhere. The Father speaks to me through numbers and just all kinds of things. Like, I thought that there were only like one way that the angels communicated to me with. No, like I found that like I'm waking up like 8 different ways to communicate, and they're using them all, and so they're all coming together now. And now I can put together a story for you guys. Bring the info for you. I haven't even thrown myself together for the day, nor have I gotten a shower, nothing. I'm just literally still impatient waiting for the Holy Spirit. They brought me Enoch to go with the sorcery. In the book of Enoch, these are about the fallen angels who came to earth. They came to teach righteousness unto those that were born of the Holy Spirit, because they were tired of seeing us wander around on our face, on all fours, foraging. We were made just below the angels, but we were created to be higher than we were created to be the crown jewel of all creation. So they came to teach us righteousness. Well, the sons of God found that the daughters of man were quite beautiful. They took wives, all of whom they chose. And as it is our custom in this world, when you want something from another, you pay them for it. Well, if one man desires another man's daughter or sister, whatever, they bargain for it. They pay a denarii for it. They pay a marriage vow, to the, they would set the daughter's family up for life with cattle, with something from every section of the kingdom. Fine silks, spices, herds, sheep, goats, cattle. It went on and on, like a well. Here, this well is for your family. I'm going to send my guys out here to your land, and we're going to dig you a well because your well's caving in. I can't leave you like that. You know what I mean? Now you're family. I got you. You know what I mean? Like, these are the sons of God. They had the powers. These were gods on earth. This is how gods on earth came about. We were the gods on earth. They came and defiled it, technically, but for good reason. Because we would never have inherited our place had they not done it. So there's always a purpose for what the unholy Father's doing. Okay. At my current understanding of it, this could be just know that there's always a purpose as to why it was placed in the unholy Father to do what he does. Because the Divine Father knows exactly what he's going to do with it, and he can thus play out the outcome as to if you can understand the choices that you need to make, you can see as far into the future until you can no longer make that choice. You cannot see around choices that you do not understand. Even the medium has to have a certain amount of understanding to understand what the spirit is conveying. So, let's get back to this. Sorry, I'm totally trailing off. The Watchers, as a part of their Denari, because they did not come here with earthly riches, they came here with heavenly riches. So what do they offer in Denari? They offer knowledge. I'm going to read you an excerpt out of the Book of Enoch. It was removed from the original Geneva Bible in the 1500s when the Bible was actually assembled. I believe it was prior to the King James, so it had to be in the 1200s, and the King James came in the 1500s, right? It's one of those two. It's either or. Just go with me here. Just everything was in there. There were 96 books in the original Bible that the Catholics even allowed us to have. 96 books. We are down to a canon of 66 books. What happened to those other books and what were in them? Well, this is something that was in them. The revelation, the revealed secrets to their wives, the transmission of magical knowledge in one Enoch. This is a excerpt by Rebecca Lesses. I don't know, it's Lesses. It's Ithaca College. I don't know, this woman obviously did a thesis or something on it. Hopefully they have everything in this excerpt. I was looking for the actual text, but I couldn't find a PDF actually, which is astounding. But I didn't want to lose the momentum that the Holy Spirit was giving me searching for it, and then, the unholy Spirit lead me off into a rabbit hole, and now I don't remember, you know what I mean? So, in the Book of Enoch, the Book of the Watchers expands upon the enigmatic story in Genesis 6, 1-4. Let me just give context for that. Genesis 6. I turned right to it. Thank you, Holy Father. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of man, that they were fair. And they took themselves wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he is also flesh, yet his days shall be 120. And there were giants in the earth those days, and also after that. When the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. And then it drops off. It's the last thing said about the Watchers until you get into the Gibborim, the Parasim, all of these ites, all of these eames and ites, the Gibborites, the Gibborim, the Gibborim is actually the mighty ones. You know what I mean? So it goes back to the Nephilim. It's just descendant-wise, how they genealogically created their tree here on earth with these women. Their genetic tree. Their lineage. We all came from two people. Why are there 8 blood types? We did not come from 2 people. We did, but it was more than that. There's more than that. There's a whole thing of genetic manipulation. If you want to get into the Anunnaki who came, that would be the incursion of the fallen, if you really want to get into it. But not all that fell. And those that fell knew they fell, and they were in deep remorse about it. And they spend their life searching for redemption. And they try and live it through us. We are the vessels. It's our choice vibrationally what we become a vessel for. So we'll pick up where Enoch leaves off, where Enoch picks up from this excerpt that is in our Bible of a grander, way grander story. This knowledge was taken from us to keep us enslaved. Now you know about it. Will you search it out? The Book of the Watchers expands upon the enigmatic story in Genesis 6, 1 through 4, in which the sons of God, and it's in Hebrew here, the B'nai Ha-Elohim, the sons of God, Ben, son, Ha, of Elohim, sons of God. In Hebrew, everything's written from right to left, and so, B'nai Ha-Elohim, it's actually said left to right, because us flipping backwards people over here on the other side of the world. This is Western astrology. This is post Second Dispersa. We came over here to the other side of the world, and we knew from former knowledge of the mystery schools that everything had been turned on its face. And the up was actually down, and the down was actually up. And the in was out, and the out was actually in when we were on the eastern side of the world. But when we migrated, they decided, in 1700s, in 1776, we created America. Our forefathers came with that knowledge. And they set up our system of things to read from left to right instead of right to left. We're going to go the other way. Now, whether this is the actual way of seeing it forwards is beyond me. But in our former lives, we read from right to left. That's why dyslexia is so prevalent. Because the former light codes that are awakening within people, the former light codes that come in, these people are still supposed to be reading right to left, or, you know what I mean? And we're forcing them to go the other way in this life, and they're having a hard time. That's where dyslexia comes in. I find that I am somehow having some freak dyslexia lately in my life. Like everything, numbers are being flipped backwards. I think of everything backwards and forwards, and now I'm doing it with my work, and that's not good. So, gosh, I don't want to just turn this into a rant and rave, but okay. In which the sons of God take human women for themselves. This paper focuses on how the Book of the Watchers, later Enoch booklet, Jubilees, dang it. The Book of Enoch also lists leaders of the 200 fallen angels who married and commenced an unnatural union with human women, and who taught forbidden knowledge. Some are also listed in the Book of Raziel. I'm Raziel Ha-Malak, or Malak. It's in the Zohar, and it's also in the Book of Jubilees. Um, when man began to multiply on the earth and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw how beautiful the daughters of man were, and they took wives for themselves. Uh, these are all just excerpts. Why aren't they just actually giving the actual... I'm sorry. Here, I'm going to stop this and I'll totally find it and I'll just pick back up.